Welcome to the BioPharma Business Intelligence Unit, where symbolic integrity meets strategic clarity. At BBIU, we go beyond the headlines to decode the structural forces behind global biopharma, AI, and economic realignment. If you value precision, verification, and symbolic depth, this channel is for you. Subscribe now to access our weekly briefings, dossiers, and intelligence reports, and consider joining our institutional tier to unlock early warning systems, custom metrics, and exclusive strategic insight. You're not just listening, you're entering the future of epistemic intelligence. www.BioPharmaBusinessIntelligenceUnit.com.
NEJM trial on Mucoactive Therapies in Bronchiectasis. Structural reassessment of clinical value. Executive summary. The CLEAR trial, published in the New England Journal of Medicine 2025, tested whether 6% hypertonic saline inhalation or oral carbocisteine reduced pulmonary exacerbations in adults with non-cystic fibrosis bronchiectasis. Conducted across 20 UK centers, 288 patients were randomized in a 2x2 factorial design and followed for 52 weeks. Findings: neither hypertonic saline nor carbocisteine significantly reduced exacerbation frequency versus standard care. The adjusted differences, no 0.25 for saline, 0.04 for carbocisteine, were not statistically significant. Secondary outcomes, including quality of life, lung function, and time to next exacerbation, showed no consistent benefit. Implication? Current guideline recommendations for universal use of these mucoactive agents in non-CF bronchiectasis are structurally weakened. Their role should shift towards selective, symptomatic use rather than systemic prescription. BBIU editorial. From Optimox to Clear: how N-acetylcysteine became the illusion we all paid for. For decades, doctors prescribed N-acetylcysteine, NAC, as if it were a hidden shield for the lungs. It was marketed as the substance that could thin mucus, make antibiotics work better, and prevent the spiral of infections that devastates people with chronic lung disease. The story was simple, elegant, and, above all, profitable. In Argentina, one of the most striking examples was Optimox, a combination pill of amoxicillin plus NAC. Advertised as dual action, it promised not only to kill bacteria but also to make airways cleaner and antibiotics more effective. It sounded rational. It looked innovative. It was also a myth sustained by marketing rather than by science. No robust clinical trials ever showed that adding NAC to antibiotics improved outcomes. Yet patients and health systems paid more for this combination, believing they were buying something superior. In reality, they were financing an illusion. The packaging of an old antibiotic with a mucolytic that, at best, made patients feel like their sputum was looser, but did not change the course of their disease. Now, in 2025, the illusion has collapsed. The CLEAR trial, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, is the largest and most rigorous study ever conducted on NAC in bronchiectasis, a chronic lung condition where airways are permanently widened and prone to infection. The verdict was blunt. NAC did not reduce exacerbations, NAC did not improve quality of life, NAC did not change lung function or the need for antibiotics. What it did increase were gastrointestinal side effects and healthcare costs. This is not just the fall of a single drug. It is the fall of a therapeutic narrative that persisted for decades without being questioned seriously. It shows how easy it is for a molecule to become part of standard care, not because it works, but because it is marketed well and doctors repeat what they inherit. The lesson is sobering. For physicians, to demand evidence before habit. For regulators, to protect patients from symbolic products that add cost without adding value. For patients, to know that not everything sold as dual action or enhanced is truly better. At BBIU, we call this a structural correction. NAC has been demoted from prophylactic therapy to, at most, a symptomatic aid for those who personally feel relief when using it. It should never again be marketed as a protective strategy against exacerbations. The case of Optimox now reads like a warning from the past. Health systems spent millions on something that never delivered. The CLEAR trial finally puts the evidence on the table. The illusion is over.
You've reached the end of the open section of this BBIU content. The complete analysis, with full data, structural frameworks, and extended annexes, is available exclusively to our subscribers. At BBIU, we believe the real value lies beyond headlines, in the depth of structural intelligence that helps leaders and organizations see further. If you want access to the complete archive and future reports, join us at BBIU and take part in the next level of analysis.